Welcome to the weekend edition of the Fast Five by Fear and Greed. I'm Michael Thompson, and hello, Sean Aylmer.
Hello, Michael.
Sean, on weekdays, it's all about the Fast Five, which is the top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. On the weekend, we still keep it to 5 minutes, but we pick out the biggest story of the week, the sleeper story, one that's kind of flying under the radar a little bit, the most remarkable story, and we finish with our favourite story. So let's jump straight into the biggest story of the week. What was it for you?
I reckon it was the ASX. It's having a great run. In fact, it's about 4% below its all-time high back in August 2021, which was during the somewhat premature post-COVID celebration. Some of the big sectors, the banks, for example, aren't doing so well. But more recently, the miners are doing well. That's on the back of some big takeover news, not the least being Newmont's revised bid for gold digger Newcrest. Some of the big winners of last year, coal miners and lithium players, have come off the boil a bit, but other sectors are doing really well. Technology is the big one there. There's been some great one-off performances. We had corporate travel management winning a $3 billion contract this year. We've also got companies like Telstra, WiseTech Global, QBE, all at the top of their game. We have a very resilient market, and shareholders, which is pretty much everyone listening, have benefited. Big story this week, Michael.
Yeah, big one. The biggest for me, though, was a global story, a bit of a local focus, though. The International Monetary Fund downgraded its forecast for the Australian economy, predicting it'll expand by 1.6% this year, down from the previous estimate of 1.9%. Globally, the IMF is really pretty downbeat, saying that while the economy has been pretty resilient, it's grappling with a combination of weak growth and sticky inflation. It says it expects inflation globally to stay higher for longer. Having said that, inflation data out of the US this week was pretty good. Don't expect the Fed to stop hiking rates just yet, though. Locally, we've got the jobs market booming, pressures on the Reserve Bank, unfortunately, to keep lifting rates, which is obviously great. If you've got a job or looking for one, not if you've got a mortgage and are struggling to make ends meet right now, Sean.
Big story, Michael.
Most remarkable. Can I go first on this one?
Sure.
Most remarkable for me was 2 kind of big courtroom dramas playing out in the US, both of them with fairly big kind of ramifications. Very briefly, the first one, it was former US President Donald Trump launching a $500 million lawsuit against his former attorney, Michael Cohen, claiming that Cohen spread embarrassing or detrimental lies about him. Big money, obviously, involved in that one. The exciting case, though, at the moment is involving Rupert Murdoch, who's expected to be a witness in the defamation suit against Fox brought by Dominion Voting Systems. Basically, the Fox network made incorrect claims that Dominion's voting machines were rigged to favour Joe Biden. They weren't. Dominion is now suing for defamation. What's extraordinary about this is that we could see one of the most powerful people in the world giving evidence in the coming week in court, and it will be a fascinating insight into the way Fox runs.
Sure will. Look, my most remarkable story is the fact that a record 2.6 million passports were printed last year. Still 2 million yet to be renewed. Apparently, applications are running about 25% above pre-COVID levels. Pretty incredible. The Passport Office says that waiting times have come down significantly. If you do the maths on that, that means the Passport Office every working day last year produced about 13,000 passports. That's remarkable.
Yeah, it sure is. What about a sleeper story? What was it for you that you think maybe kind of going under the radar a little bit?
Well, this is a sleeper story because plenty of us will never know about it. The Australian Tax Office ran an experiment or a trial. It provided 2 types of letters to 20,000 Australians who owed money, changing just a few words here and there. The idea was to nudge people into paying their tax. There was a nice letter, a soft message that said, "Don't get further behind, lodge now." The hard message told recipients that not taking action to get up to date will be treated as a deliberate choice. What happened? Well, much better response rate. 17% of the people that received the hard letter started paying back their taxes, 13% that received the soft letter. Every year, the ATO handles about 43 million tax returns and business activity statements. A quarter of them aren't completed on time. The difference between 13% and 17% equates to really big numbers. Really fascinating story this week, Michael.
Yeah, that's a cracker of a story. Favourite story, Sean, this week for me was everything that we learnt this week about space. And we learnt that everything in space, obviously like satellites, etc., is electric. And because of that, there's pretty much a blueprint for how we electrify everything on Earth, which is a key step towards reducing greenhouse gas emissions. We had Enrico Palermo, the boss of the Australian Space Agency, talking about that. And he said also that space kind of tends to offer almost a reliable kind of buyer for explore new lithium deposits, etc., providing certainty for companies operating in that space, because space is pretty resilient to economic downturns. People just keep on, countries and companies just keep on sending up more satellites and things, so they need the lithium and the like to kind of ensure they keep operating. Also, Sean, got to mention the incredible pictures of Uranus, the planet, this week from the James Webb Telescope, which showed the ring around Uranus and its moons, etc. Pretty fantastic.
Sure was. Quick mention for my favourite, all those stories this week about collectibles. Now, a new record price was paid for a car license in Dubai, $15 million for something that said P7, and that's it. There was a pair of Michael Jordan shoes sold this week. The MJ signed Nike Air Jordan trainers went for $2.2 million. Pretty amazing. There's also eBay State of Collectibles report for 2023. It said that Australians are hoarding all sorts of things from coins and Lego sets to sneakers and art. The most valuable thing last year was a Michael Jordan autographed first championship 1991 commemorative card, sold for over $100,000. Pretty remarkable what people are spending money on, Michael.
Yeah, a little bit crazy, I reckon.
I agree.
All right, there we go. 5 minutes and pretty much everything you need to know in the world of business. Thank you very much, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
We'll be back on Monday morning with the top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Don't forget to hit follow, and also don't forget that the Amazon Echo smart speaker range comes with Alexa built in. Simply say, Alexa, play the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed podcast to catch the latest episode, and you can get yours now at amazon.com.au. I'm Michael Thompson, and this is the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed.